In British Columbia, there is a refuge like no other.
What sort of operation? I think they're crazy.
Run by a family like no other. They raise orphaned bear cubs and give them a second chance.
A second chance at a life in the wild.
It's early fall at Northern Lights Shelter. And co-owner Angelika Langen
Open up.
faces a housing crisis for a record number of bear cubs.
Got caught a little bit by surprise this spring with the incredible influx in admissions so early in the year.
As a stopgap measure, Angelika moved their 40 black bears into the shelter's empty grizzly enclosure.
Okay, whoa.
Now she's rushing to complete a new black bear enclosure in case a grizzly cub comes in.
The fall is typically the highest number of bears arriving. So the crunch is on. Excellent. That's gonna look nice. I think we're good. My biggest concern is that we wouldn't get this enclosure ready, and then grizzlies would start arriving and we have no room for them.
For the last 10 years at Northern Lights Shelter, husband Peter has run the world's only grizzly rehab program. Back in 2014, they raised and released these 4 orphaned grizzly cubs, which must always be kept separate from the black bears. Grizzlies can be very aggressive, so they require special handling.
Peter, he doesn't develop any fear when he works with them. So even when he's dealing with a few 100-pound yearling, he still is absolutely dominant.
If I would be afraid, then I would be definitely in the wrong place.
Grizzlies are a threatened species, so rehabbing them is a top priority for the shelter.
Hoping that we're still on the right road.
Peter and his daughter Tanya are nearing the end of their 12-hour journey to the Chilco Valley.
My dad and I are on our way to rescue a grizzly cub. Our photographer friend John Marriott reported him to us.
You guys will go out with Josh and be full-on searching, so.
Yeah, okay.
John spotted the cub during a photo tour.
We were up in a little spot watching actually an adult grizzly with 2 cubs. And I glanced behind me and happened to see the little cub. Just a little tiny thing, maybe about 30 or 40 pounds. Definitely looking like a lost little cub.
Okay, well, let's have a look then.
Tanya and Peter have enlisted Josh Reimer, a local guide, to help them search for the solo cub.
Oh.
They're quickly in thick bear country.
Holy. That's a really nice looking bear.
A record number of hungry grizzlies have come down from the mountains looking for salmon.
Come on, little cubby.
But there's no sign of the lone cub. It may be staying clear of the large male grizzlies, which can prey on cubs of their own kind.
It's a dangerous situation for the cub to be in, with this many other bears around. This is one of those, where you wish you could yell out, okay, we're here to help.
All right, let's get rolling.
Back at Northern Lights,
I'm gonna try to push everybody your way.
Angelika is under the gun,
Who wants to be poked first?
rooting out black bear cubs so they can be tranquilized and moved to the big new black bear enclosure.
It's gonna get tight to move all the bears over, but I think we can pull it off. Get them all over there before grizzlies come in. Jessie, behind. Go get her. Run, Jessie, run. The bear's beating you.
The cubs are playing hard to get.
Who's presenting a butt? Butt up. Come on, guys. Okay. Let's see what other butts present themselves. How you feeling, girl, huh?
Soon, a number of bears start to go under.
Oh, she goes in. The world is turning. I could use some help here.
They'll need to be quickly moved to the scales and weighed in to see if they're hefty enough to hibernate through the winter.
50. 60.
So far, the cubs are all a healthy weight. But they've yet to weigh in the biggest eater of the bunch, a fun-loving cub named Nutmeg.
Who's next? Nutmeg goes, this doesn't look good.
Given his size, he'll need a full dose of sedation.
Busted a needle on it. He's falling asleep.
His groans attract the attention of all his buddies. Nutmeg's brother Pepper seems especially concerned.
We've been together since bottle feeding age.
You look like he's slowing down.
Yeah, he's slowing down.
All right.
Finally, Nutmeg is asleep. But it's a two-person job moving him.
We're not upset when they have extra weight on them. The bigger they are, the better their survival chances. So are we taking bets on Nutmeg's weight?
I'm gonna say 70 at least.
I'll go with 75.
I think you need to move his butt. Get your fat, buddy.
A healthy weight for hibernation is anything over 50 pounds.
100. And 108.
108 pounds. I think we're feeding our bears too well.
Proud parents, eh?
They've already lugged 24 black bear cubs to the new enclosure.
Just give the box, Jesse.
But there are still 14 more to clear out tomorrow, in case Peter and Tanya arrive with that orphaned grizzly cub.
Hang on.
It's day 2 on the Chilco River.
I don't know if I'm gonna get back up that.
Winter weather makes an early debut
Thank you.
as Tanya and Peter set off in search of the orphaned grizzly cub.
So obviously our chances of finding the cub today are getting slimmer. The weather is not helping.
They can spare just a couple more hours of searching before they have to head back to the shelter. Any cubs they do see are with their mothers.
So you don't think that's the cub?
No. Oh boy. I don't think we're gonna get very far, unfortunately. It's not looking great, that's for sure. I'm kind of at a loss for what else we can do at this point. What do you think, Dad? Do we call it? Do we call it?
It's just thing, I have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to call it, Josh.
Okay.
Anytime a rescue isn't successful, it's a hit. We never want to leave a cub out there.
Well, we'll still keep looking.
Yeah.
The locals have promised to keep an eye out for the cub. In the meantime, Tanya and her dad are needed back at the shelter.
It's not the perfect ending by any stretch. There's not really much we can do. Our hands kind of are tied at this point.
Incoming.
Back at Northern Lights Shelter,
Let's tip it this way.
Angelika and her team are rooting out the last of the black bears.
We're on the roll now. Okay, Jimbo,
She has a bear named Jimbo in her sights,
up you go.
one of the feistiest bears in the bunch. As a young cub, Jimbo was more immune to the tranquilizer than the others.
Don't think he liked that.
But now he appears to be going under.
Is he out?
Jimbo has grown a lot since he came to the shelter in the spring.
Holy smokes. It's a big bear. I have to look it up, but he was only maybe 5 or 6 pounds when he came in.
Yeah.
I'm assuming we can probably add 100 to that, huh? Good?
Yeah.
Yeah? You can help here. Okay.
Jimbo is waking up.
Catch pull, go get it. Easy, easy. Tighten. Tighten it. Okay, go. Jimbo, he came out of the sedation really fast, which sometimes happens. Careful. The slower the better. The bumpier it gets, the faster we're waking him up. Okay, let him go. I got it. Open the door. This was still pretty wobbly. It looks more dramatic than it is. Yeah. Okay, Jimbo. Okay, let's get to the other one before he wakes up. Let's hustle. It's a last bear.
For 2 days straight, Angelika and her team have been shuttling sedated bears to their new home.
We moved the last 13 bears now, so everybody's over in the new enclosure. I'm glad it's done. Come on, time to wake up.
With all of the black bears moved, the grizzly enclosure is finally empty. But not for long.
Done, Peter.
Angelika and Peter have been called out to rescue a grizzly cub, this time from an area near the coast.
Sometimes gets a little tiring. You just want to go, can we have a few days just off? But that's not the way it goes. You know, the calls come in and we got to go. And that's what we do. Hey, how are you?
Good. Thank you for coming.
They meet up with the conservation officers who captured the cub. For weeks, the cub's mom had been straying into town, despite efforts to scare her away. But when the mother charged someone, the officers had to euthanize her.
You know, we have a very distressed animals on our hand that sees its only way of coping with the situation is lashing out. It's been locked up, it's been taken away from everything that she knows, and the only resource she has available to her right now is anger and aggression. I'm so scared. Oh, sweetheart.
A quick shot of sedation,
Down?
and the cub is safe enough to transfer.
I mixed up 3 cc's. That should be enough to just transport. It's out pretty good, but it can come out really fast with these drugs too. That's the problem, so let's do it.
They carry the cub to a bear box in the back of Angelika's truck.
Put an ear tag in.
Angelika scrambles to clip in an ear tag before the cub wakes up.
Okay, she's coming too.
It's a 6.5-hour drive back to the shelter.
We got a little girl.
Now the proud daddy comes through. Be prepared, it's heavy. There we go. Don't put your fingers anywhere close to the holes. She's not a happy camper.
Handling this grizzly cub is very different than handling black bears.
The grizzly bear is not something, you know, that just fits into the program like every other bear that comes in. We're gonna release her into the small cage. They have their own enclosure, and there's lots more observation that's needed.
To observe the cub in close quarters, they'll first move her into a feeding pen.
Okay?
Yep.
It's anyone's guess how she'll react.
Easy, girl.
Peter and Angelika have their hands full with their first orphaned grizzly cub of the year.
You okay? Yeah, I know.
The shelter's newest guest is already in a big hurry to check out. But without a mother to protect her, this orphan would likely not survive alone in the wild.
It's absolutely normal for grizzlies when they come in. There is this incredible rage, this incredible desire to just get away. Easy, I know. I know. Very different than the black bears. Do you think she's less stressed if we let her out and give her more space?
They hope she'll calm down once in the large grizzly enclosure that Angelika just cleared for her.
It's gonna take her a few days to settle in and just make her peace with the situation.
She's all by herself, lost the support of her mom. There's too much at once, you know. So the best thing is we leave her alone so that she comes down.
The next day, the grizzly cub appears to be hiding in her den box.
I could see her face. She looked at me. Then she disappeared in the bag again. That animal must be scared.
Sensing the cub's retreat, Peter feels it's safe to go inside and bring in her first meal. He offers her a grizzly treat, fresh salmon.
There's no movement here, no charging, no barking, nothing.
The cub seems determined to avoid people altogether. But there's plenty of action with the black bears, who are exploring their new enclosure.
That exciting? They're still at an age where they really like to play. They just love it. And I love to see them running and ripping things apart and just obviously having a really good time.
Three days later in the Grizzly enclosure, there's still no sign of the new cub.
I know that she eats, but what I didn't expect is that she hides for such a long time.
She's become so reclusive, she only comes out at night.
And, you know, that might work really well. It makes dealing with her a lot easier.
In Grizzly rehab, it's crucial that cubs, which will eventually be released, avoid human contact.
It really will help us because we do not want her to become friendly with us. So from my point of view, I'm really happy that she disappears.